Cubs with a nice come-from-behind win over the Atlanta Braves, and now all of a sudden the schedule setting up for some easier contests for this team that's trying to wrap up the number one wild card spot in the National League. But what a big win. The Carson Kelly comeback. I love it. We're going to talk about that. Cubs made that roster move. It was Ben Cowles who was released. Some of you guys are going, now who's Ben Cowles? I'm going to tell you who Ben Cowles was or is and more right here on the Cubs Baseball channel. So like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit the bell. I ask you guys to do that stuff on a daily basis, but you got this. Your team's in the mix. You're not the Cardinals right now waiting for that. What do you say, guys? Mick Gillespie, Cubs Baseball channel, and what a game against the Atlanta Braves yesterday. I loved it. A little, come from behind. They were down 6-1, came back. Carson Kelly tied it, and then Carson Kelly won it in the 10th, a walk-off, and a nice win for the Cubs. And, just gets them one step closer to clinching in the postseason. And there is still some stuff that's out there, right? I mean, you definitely, if you're the Cubs, want to have home field advantage. Playoff games at Wrigley and that wild card round. And we've seen over the years that sometimes that wild card round, you get going, and then all of a sudden you pick up some momentum and make a run. Obviously, that's what we would love to see the Cubs do. But really, just a great game, able to come from behind. This team, you feel like they're starting to pick up some momentum. Pete Crow-Armstrong did a couple things in this game that I had to highlight, man. The first is the glove. He's the best defender in baseball. And he made another incredible catch, right? And the second thing was he scored from first base on that double. I mean, it was amazing. Like they didn't even look home. Most guys, I don't know if they get there, if it's a close play, the relay. He is so fast. He's such a spark when he gets on base. It's a learning process in this game. You have success, you have failures, but man, he is such a fun player to watch. And then Kelly with a very memorable game for the Cubs. So that puts the magic number at 16 wins or losses of those teams that are trying to chase them, namely the Reds in the standings, and the Cubs will be in the postseason. So that was the move. They took Ben Cowles off of the 40-man roster and replaced him with Carlos Santana. So this is something that you're seeing this front office do an awful lot, and that's sign guys that are really old and get rid of players that are really young to get them on the roster. I'm not judging this move and saying that it's a bad move. I'm not saying it's a good move. I don't know. I'm just saying that we've seen this now. Alexander Canario, one of those guys. Michael Arias, one of those guys. Luis Vasquez, one of those guys, and now Ben Cowles. So who's Ben Cowles? He's the guy that the Cubs traded the Yankees for last year at the deadline. He was in the Leiter Jr. trade, and he was injured when the Cubs got him. He was the hits leader in Double-A, and then came back, played the rest of the season in Double-A for the Cubs, and then this year has been in Triple-A. But like a lot of the players that have been on that Triple-A team this year, not the kind of stats that warranted him to be on the 40-man roster. Cowles, he hit .238, didn't have a lot of power, 9 home runs, 44 batted in. Can play shortstop, can play the infield. But, nothing about him, really stood out where, you looked at him and thought, well, this guy's going to be a difference maker. He did have 100 hits, though, in 113 games, which has kind of been his thing. He gets a lot of hits, but he only had a .304 on base percentage, 33 walks, and 132 strikeouts. So the Cubs felt like they just felt like it was time to move on from Cowles to make room for Santana. And that's kind of the way that this business goes sometimes, right? Cowles really didn't do anything to turn heads, and the Cubs are trying to win at the big league level. They're looking right now to try to find one of these old guys, and maybe they catch lightning in a bottle, and that would be maybe the case with Santana. We'll see if that happens, but Cowles could stay with the organization if nobody claims him, and we'll see what happens there. He didn't put up the kind of numbers where you would suspect that he would get claimed, and then the Cubs would have him anyway. So that's where we are right now. Game 2 against the Atlanta Braves. You wonder if the Cubs can just continue to take advantage of what I would consider a softer schedule, right? They will be in action again against the Atlanta Braves, and that's a 6:40 Central Time game. Joey Wentz for the Atlanta Braves and Shota Imanaga for the Chicago Cubs. So another one of those matchups that you look at and go, okay, you know what? We feel like we can make some things happen here, right? So the Cubs, I mean, think about this. They go and they sweep the Angels. They get swept by the Giants, which sucked. Then they almost swept the Rockies. And now they have the Atlanta Braves, and they win the first game. And you look ahead, and you're like, okay, you see the Washington Nationals on the schedule. You got the Braves. These are games that you feel like you should be able to win. And it's important to, not only that, but get this team ready for success in the postseason. So that's where we are. Just a quick show today. Guys, you know that we've got our AveD site going. It's Mick Nation. We're giving away playoff tickets. We're ordering the swag. Been promising that for a while, just didn't have a way to give it away. Well, now we do with our AveD site. But you can go on there, make picks on games. Anything I'm involved, that's on there, including the Cubs. And appreciate you guys so much for being a part of what we do on a daily basis. But that's just it's free, it's easy to use, and it's fun. And I implore all of you guys to check it out. So, but look, Cubs win, getting closer. I'm not ready to say that they're out of the division race yet, although, it is going to be a mighty mountain for the Cubs to try to get back in there. But things are looking good in the wild card race. Cubs are 5.5 games back of the Brewers. So that last game against Milwaukee, such a difference. Be 3.5 back right now. And all of a sudden the Brewers are like looking over their shoulders. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Get in the comments section. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Thank you guys for hanging with us on the show. And again, just a short show. Just wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit today. Not a whole lot going on. And if something breaks, I'll jump on here and talk about it with you. But we'll just keep on doing this, and hopefully this team continues to build momentum to the postseason. And then I think that's the whole goal, right? Let's win it all. All right.